Today, we're focusing on a really critical challenge impacting the automotive service industry.
Yeah,
You know, the backbone of any successful auto repair shop isn't just the tools, it's the people. Specifically, those skilled technicians doing the work and, well, the service writers interacting with customers.
right. But there's a major hurdle right now, isn't there?
That's what these sources are all about.
Yeah, they paint a really clear picture. There's this significant tech talent shortage. It's hitting shops everywhere, doesn't matter the size or what they specialize in.
Finding good technicians is tough.
It is, and honestly, keeping them happy, keeping them engaged. Sometimes that's even tougher.
So, our mission in this episode, using these articles and guides, is to really unpack them. We want to pull out the most vital insights, the real nuggets of knowledge to help navigate this whole challenge.
Right. We'll look at what the experts suggest looking for when hiring, the current trends that are kind of shaping the problem.
Proven strategies for actually attracting talent, how you build a strong team.
The role of training, different ways to handle compensation, communication, best practices, and effective leadership, too. It covers a lot.
And understanding the stuff isn't just academic.
No way. Sources really hammer home how high the stakes are. Losing even one skilled technician, it's incredibly costly for a shop.
Think about it. An empty bay isn't making money.
Exactly. That's business you might be turning away. Estimates suggest a company can lose maybe 1 to 2.5% of its total revenue just getting a new hire up to speed. And a disengaged employee, someone who's just checked out, they could cost a business like 34% of their annual salary.
That's huge.
It is. One source even put a number on an abstinent tech, potentially $1,000 in lost profit per day.
$1,000 a day.
Yeah, and that could add up to maybe $90,000 lost during a long hiring process just to fill one spot.
Okay, that really puts it in perspective. So if you're involved in the auto industry, maybe you run a shop, work in one, or even if you just rely on your local mechanic and you're curious about what keeps these essential businesses going, this episode should give you some critical insights straight from the experts in these sources. Let's get into it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to ShopTalk, the podcast where auto repair pros get real insights to grow smarter, run smoother, and boost profits.
Okay, so let's start by really defining the scope of this problem. This technician shortage, it isn't just talk, right? It's real, and the numbers back it up.
Yeah, I saw that. Even though overall employment in the sector is growing, what was it, 3.5% increase in 2022, about 915,000 people.
That's right. But the sources consistently point out that demand is severely outpacing that growth.
And the gap seems wider than I would have guessed.
It is. Demand for vehicle technicians is reported as nearly 3 times the available supply.
3 times?
Yeah, and even more striking, the U.S. is projected to need, get this, 4 times more technicians than are actually graduating from training programs over the next 5 years.
4 times? That's not a small gap, that's a chasm.
It really is, yeah. And several factors are making it worse. First, you've got the American vehicle fleet just getting older.
Right, the average age is 12 and a half years now?
Exactly. And older cars, naturally, they just need more maintenance, more repairs.
Plus, people are holding on to those older cars longer. The sources mentioned new car costs jumped 24% since the pandemic.
And used cars went up 40%.
So yeah, you keep the older car, it needs more work. Demand goes up.
Precisely. And then you throw in the rapid evolution of vehicle technology. Especially, electric vehicles and autonomous systems. Global EV sales surged over 43%. U.S. sales were up 50% just in the first 3 quarters of 2023. This isn't just a small trend. It's a fundamental shift. It is. And it requires entirely new skill sets from technicians. It's no surprise that 56% of current techs see EVs as the most significant disruptor to their jobs.
So you've got this perfect storm, really. Increasing demand from older cars, plus this need for totally new, complex skills for EVs and other tech.
All crashing into a workforce that just isn't growing fast enough.
Yeah. And the pressure is real. The sources said 45% of shop owners called skilled tech shortages their single biggest challenge.
So this really begs the question for anyone running a shop. How do you even begin to tackle this?
Right.
And the consistent message across these sources we looked at is that, it starts way before a wrench even touches a bolt. It starts with hiring smartly.
Okay, let's unpack that. Hiring smart. The sources really seem to stress that this goes way beyond just ticking off technical skill boxes, right?
Absolutely. I mean, technical skill is obviously crucial, non-negotiable, but the soft skills, they're often the real differentiator.
Like what specifically?
Well, things like a genuine willingness to learn, that's huge in this field. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Strong problem-solving abilities, being a good team player, clear communication, and a deep, real dedication to safety.
Okay, so how do you actually spot those things during the hiring process? Did the sources give any tips?
Yeah, they did. For problem solving, they suggested things like asking candidates about hypothetical repair situations, or maybe even throwing questions at them that are slightly outside their main specialty, just to see how they think, how they approach a challenge.
Makes sense. See how they react.
Exactly. For teamwork and communication, you ask about past collaborations. Listen to how they talk about working with others. Do they sound thoughtful, willing to compromise?
And safety.
That starts with basics, making sure they understand best practices for keeping the shop clean, organized. It reflects a mindset.
And it's not just about trying to grab the most experienced tech from the shop down the street, is it?
No, that's a great point the sources made. While those veterans are obviously invaluable, there's real strategic importance in hiring entry-level candidates too, people you can train up.
Right, because then you're building an internal culture of training, of sharing knowledge.
Yes, and it creates a pipeline. It prevents that awful scenario where you're suddenly back to square one if a senior tech leaves or retires.
So you need a mix.
A balanced team, yeah. You need specialists maybe for complex electronics for those really tricky jobs, but you also need generalists who provide flexibility. Who can govern different types of repairs.
So where are shops supposed to find these people? Both the experienced ones and the entry-level folks.
Well, partnering with local junior colleges offering internships that came up a lot. It gets your shop's name out there, gives you a first look at new talent. Also, offering incentives for your existing team to get further training or specialize can actually attract new people who see you invest in growth.
That's interesting.
And there was one specific tactic mentioned, Hemi Helm at Motorworks. He apparently keeps a mechanic wanted application perpetually open online.
Always recruiting.
Yeah, just to build a database of potential candidates over time. Sort of a proactive approach.
Smart. And the hiring process itself needs to be really clear, right?
Totally transparent. Be upfront about everything. Job expectations, the actual shop culture, pay, benefits. Use tech assessments maybe to get deeper insight into skills and fit, and critically make the offer competitive. The sources really stress this. Research your local wage standards, offer good salaries, fees, and a solid benefits package. Health insurance, retirement, paid time off, maybe bonuses. It has to be attractive, yeah. And things like being an ARA certified member, for instance, that was highlighted as something that can make a shop stand out, especially to experienced pros looking for certain standards.
That all makes sense for getting the right people in the door. But the sources were super clear that hiring is just step one, right? Retention.
There.
That's the real game changer.
Exactly. Keeping a great technician is so much more cost-effective than going through that whole process of finding and training someone new.
And while good pay and benefits are fundamental,
They are. The sources mention shops using management software like ShopOfficer, suggesting that using tech smartly might help optimize things to allow for better pay.
but retention goes beyond just the paycheck.
Oh, absolutely. That was a huge theme.
So, okay, financial incentives are the starting point. What else did the sources suggest on that front?
Well, they talk about going beyond just like an annual bonus. Consider weekly bonuses may be tied directly to billable hours that gives a more immediate daily incentive. See, or
Okay, I
maybe
see.
monthly bonuses split based on the whole shop's performance that can really foster teamwork, a sense of we're all in this together.
Right, shared success.
And employee referral programs came up too. Great way to find trusted talent because your team knows good people, and you reward your existing folks with cash, extra vacation, gift cards, whatever for successful hires.
I liked the idea mentioned about tailoring incentives too, showing you actually pay attention to what motivates each individual.
Precisely. Non-monetary appreciation is so vital. Simple things. Gift cards, an extra paid day off here and there, food gift baskets. Hosting a monthly happy hour outside work can build camaraderie.
Little things can mean a lot.
They really can't. And yet tailoring, maybe covering the cost for that specific certification one tech really wants, or getting concert tickets for another who loves music. That shows you see them and value them as individuals, not just cogs in a machine.
And tracking all this, the bonuses and performance is key.
Yeah, definitely. The sources emphasize using tools Fullbay was mentioned for payroll optimization to track metrics effectively. This makes sure bonus plans are fair, tied to real performance, and actually crucially helping the shop's bottom line.
Okay, so beyond the pay and the perks, the sources really hammered on the importance of growth and development. You mentioned the tech is changing constantly.
It is. Automotive technology is incredibly complex now, and it's evolving non-stop. So continuous learning isn't just nice, it's absolutely crucial for technicians to stay relevant and frankly motivated.
So shops need to invest.
Actively invest in career development. That means covering the cost of ongoing education certifications, which could be pretty significant, Developing mentorship programs internally, providing hands-on training opportunities. These are essential too. Talking to techs about their long-term goals and helping them map out a path.
And it sounds like making these investments actually pays off in tangible ways.
Oh, big time. The sources cited some really impressive stats. Investing in training can apparently increase retention by up to 70%.
70%, that's massive, especially given those turnover costs we talked about.
Exactly. And it can reduce errors by 50%, increase productivity by 40%. That's a clear ROI right there.
Makes sense. Better skills, fewer mistakes, faster work.
And you need to offer the right kind of training. The sources said 75% of technicians prefer hands-on practical training. Get their hands dirty.
Right, not just lectures.
Yeah, and interestingly, there's also a recognized need for training in softer skills, like upselling techniques. 45% of techs saw that as a necessary skill. Partnering with industry training partnerships was also suggested as a way for shops to make sure their training stays current with all the new tech and repair methods.
All these different strategies, hiring smart, paying well, investing in training, they all seem to build towards something bigger, don't they? Like the overall shop culture.
They absolutely do. You can't really separate them. Creating a strong team environment, it starts with fostering a positive workplace culture. And right at the heart of that, communication and teamwork.
Yeah, open communication came up again and again in these sources.
It's fundamental. Good, open communication reinforces team coordination. It boosts efficiency. It cuts down on mistakes. One source noted 80% of employees believe it leads to better decision-making.
80%.
Yeah, and it can reduce errors by up to 25% just by talking more effectively.
And a key strategy for fostering that, mentioned in the sources, was the open door policy.
Yes, that was highlighted. Implementing a true open door policy, not just saying it, is powerful. It signals to employees that management is actually acceptable, approachable.
So people feel comfortable speaking up.
Exactly. When employees feel comfortable seeking guidance or maybe presenting ideas they have, engagement can increase by 15%, and this is critical. Over 70% of employees value being heard. That directly improves loyalty, improves retention.
Makes people want to stay.
Right. It can also boost innovation by maybe 20% because ideas flow more freely. And get this, it can facilitate a 30% lower turnover rate primarily because people feel valued and understood. Trust goes up too by 40% when feedback is genuinely valued.
But how do you make it work effectively? It's got to be more than just like physically leaving your office door open.
You're right.
Much more.
The sources really emphasize you have to clearly communicate the purpose of the policy to everyone. You need to train managers on how to genuinely listen and respond supportively. Okay, and you have to actively work to address barriers.
Okay.
Things like miscommunication or the perception that feedback isn't actually going anywhere or just a lack of follow-up. You have to make it real.
So besides the open door, what are some other practical ways shops can boost communication within the team?
Several things were suggested. Making sure roles and responsibilities are crystal clear, holding regular team meetings, but with planned agendas so they stay focused.
Right, not just rambling sessions.
Exactly. Using communication software like Slack or Microsoft Teams for quick updates and collaboration. Providing actual communication skills training can help too. Interesting. Even creating a simple glossary of shop-specific terms so everyone's on the same page. Giving constructive feedback regularly, maintaining good documentation, and maybe most importantly, just practicing empathy and respect in every interaction. Plus, having clear employee handbooks and job descriptions, setting expectations from the start.
And those regular team meetings you mentioned seem crucial for collaboration, especially when you're tackling complex repairs.
Absolutely. They're the perfect place to discuss technical challenges, brainstorm solutions together, streamline the workflow, and just generally keep everyone in the loop. They can significantly improve diagnostic accuracy and overall repair efficiency.
And it sounds like they also feed back into that positive culture, giving people a space to voice ideas, maybe raise concerns, building that psychological safety.
That's exactly it. The sources even offered ideas for how to structure meetings, like dedicating time to discuss the week's workflow, reflecting on what went well and what could be improved, actively encouraging participation from everyone. Oh, maybe using simple frameworks like DASI that helps clarify who's responsible, accountable, consulted, informed on decisions. Or using retrospective methods like the 4 Ls, what people loved, longed for, lacked, and learned over a period. Okay, even simple things like icebreakers or taking a moment to celebrate small wins can build camaraderie. They pointed to Sunil Patel's practice at Motorworks holding quick daily meetings as a real-world example of making this work effectively day to day.
So all these pieces, the hiring, the retention efforts, the training, the culture, the communication, it seems like they all tie back to one central element: leadership.
Definitely. Strong leadership is what steers the ship. It creates the environment where all these other strategies can actually take root and thrive. And it matters for productivity, too. That Warwick University study cited showed happy individuals are 12% more productive.
So what makes for effective management or leadership in this specific auto shop context, according to the source?
Well, it boils down to techniques like transparent communication, which we've talked about. Clearly managing expectations for the team and consistently nurturing a respectful workplace where everybody feels valued.
Does technology play a role in leadership too?
It can, yeah. Things like digital vehicle inspections, DVIs were mentioned. Systems like ShopOfficer allow techs to easily attach photos and videos of repair needs. That enhances transparency not just with the customer, but within the team too. Everyone sees the issue. And other tools within those shop management systems, like a digital job board for workflow, two-way texting with customers via text message, text to pay with tech merchant, they all streamline operations, boost efficiency, and improve the customer experience, which, as a J.D. Power study confirmed, is impacted by things like how long people have to wait. Good leadership leverages these tools.
Leaders also need to tackle those tricky, practical challenges head-on with transparency.
Yes. Being open about things like how salary or bonuses are calculated, automating time-sucking tasks like payroll where possible, creating a physically comfortable, well-equipped work environment, and genuinely, consistently appreciating the skills and contributions of the team. These are all leadership responsibilities that directly impact retention.
So the ultimate goal is managing all these diverse personalities effectively.
And fostering real employee motivation, making people want to come to work and do their best.
Let's bring it back to the listener. Why does all of this matter to you listening right now?
Well, whether you actually run an auto shop, or you work in one, or maybe you just rely on one to keep your car safe and running. Understanding these dynamics is pretty crucial.
Because a team that's well hired, genuinely retained, kept up to date with training, and feels motivated.
That isn't just beneficial internally, it translates directly into better quality service for you, the customer. It means greater operational efficiency for the business and ultimately more success.
Yeah, the sources indicated 45% of shop owners believe hiring the technicians they need boosts revenue by at least 17%.
Exactly. So, for the health and long-term success of any automotive business, employee loyalty is really just as vital as customer loyalty. They go hand in hand.
So, wrapping this up, it seems really clear from all these sources that tackling the technician shortage and building a truly thriving auto repair business, it's not about finding one single magic bullet, is it?
No, not at all. It requires a layered, multifaceted approach. You've got to focus on competitive compensation, sure, but also heavily invest in continuous development and training. You need to foster strong communication and build a genuinely positive team culture.
And underpinning all of that is effective leadership that truly values its people.
Right? It all works together.
So here's a final thought to maybe leave with you, building on what we've discussed from these sources.
Okay.
Given how rapidly vehicle technology is changing, especially this huge acceleration towards EVs, and the fact that we still have this massive fleet of older gasoline cars needing maintenance, how might that relationship evolve? The relationship between, say, shop's investment in advanced training, the actual pool of technicians who have those skills, and the overall reliability of the cars we all drive?
That's a really interesting question. Like, what responsibility does the entire automotive industry maybe have to bridge that knowledge gap, that workforce gap, proactively, not just reacting when things get critical?
Exactly. It certainly gives you something to consider. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Shop Talk by ShopOfficer. If you found this helpful, share it with a fellow mechanic or shop owner and follow for more real-world advice. Want to take your shop digital? Visit shopofficer.com to get started for free. Until next time, keep wrenching smarter.
1, 2,